Hey everybody, it's Patricio Kobek from TheGamer here with a guide talking about how to wipe out entire fire teams with extreme prejudice. Let's dive right in. We're going to start by addressing the elephant in the room, what I'm seeing on Ilphonic forums, on Reddit, and on Twitter. This idea that the Predator's too weak, that the fire team's overpowered, that they hunt you down, and that's not what the Predator's all about. And that's correct. The Predator's not a whipping boy, it's not something that should be taken down easily, but if that's your experience, it probably means you're playing the class incorrectly. We're going with the Berserker class, toughest, slowest character available, but with strong melee damage, right? We're going to lean hard into this melee damage by going with the combi stick. It's got a nice, long, broad arc, great for confined spaces. And then we'll just go with the bow because it's fun to distract them, to mess with them, but it's not going to be our primary tool for killing. And then for our gear here, the healing is all we really need. The other ones are just there to fill up space. With perks, we have to lean hard into this Berserker synergy, so Fearless and Impenetrable are ideal. Fearless adds even more melee damage, Impenetrable helps with the bullet storm we're going to receive when we ambush the fire team, and Resourcefulness is just for more experience. It could be empty, it doesn't affect gameplay in any way. It's important to note too that game or class identity is something that we haven't talked too much about, but we'll return to that a little bit later. As far as weapons go, the Elder Sword or the War Club are both equally as strong, in my opinion here, if you're going for single target. The combi stick, however, is great for confined spaces. As for our gear, honestly, take whatever you want. It's not going to affect the core gameplay and the way that we're going to strategize with actually using this character here. If we take a look at the fire team here, we are going to return to their classes at the end of the video just to discuss them. For now, we ignore the fire team classes. It doesn't matter what they are, doesn't matter what weapons they're using, we're going to just dive right in. When we take a look at the actual map here during a loading screen, it's important to note and important to play as the fire team so that you know exactly what's going to be happening. As you can see here, we know that the fire team is going to start either in the northeast, southeast, or a third determined location, and we're going to be dropped somewhere in the middle, right? Our strategy is always going to be the same. We're going to load in, we're going to sprint to the middle of the map, and we're going to find a nice perch. And from there, we're just going to wait. It doesn't take long, maybe less than a minute, for us to figure out exactly where the where the fire team's heading. We know that the fire team has to go to one of these 3 or 4 predetermined points of interest. They have to spend some time there, they have to complete their objectives. So here we go, first match. Let's head right into the middle of the map. This looks like a good place to perch. Doesn't have to be that high up. And we're just going to take a look around. Once again, we know the fire team has to be somewhere around here. We should be able to hear them. Using our isolation scan, we can sometimes catch them right away, figure out where they are. But even if this fails, we know that in a moment, they're going to start fighting AI. They're going to have to start shooting AI-controlled humans on the way to their objective. So we've got something going on here. There's our fire team. Once again, we don't let them know we're here. We don't attack them with any ranged weapons, so we lean hard into being a melee torrential force of nature. 3 hits and first guy's down. We hide, make them think we're running away, and we charge right back in. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, and down. And that's it. First fire team is dead. Second match is going to be fairly similar to the first here. I like this map because it really limits where the fire team can go. We've got the one massive industrial area, or train tracks I should say. There's, there's about like little warehouses there, lots of train cars. We know that most likely they're going to have to end up coming here real quick. So, same thing, we are going to head towards the middle of the map, and we're just going to listen for a little while. Here we're going to speed up the action because nothing's going on. And now we're back to normal. It's taken us 1 minute to locate the fire team. We see them heading into the train yard, so we're going to approach on foot. At this point, we know that they've seen us. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter too because they have an objective to complete, so they're going to focus on that. And they're going to have to deal with all the AI humans that are here, so they can't stick around and just deal with me. At this point, we pull out the bow just to screw with them. We're not trying to kill them. This serves a couple of purposes. Once again, either it distracts them, or it makes them think that, hey, this guy is just going to try and pick us off with a bow for the entire game. At this point, it looks like they're gone, so we're going to go right back into our melee strategy. Get our energy back and charge in. Pick up our arrows. And at this point, they've left us a lovely little trail of destruction. All these bodies lying around, we didn't kill these humans, they did. So, we find them, and we charge right in. Two down, two left, and they're right here. If you're wondering which target you prioritize, you pick the weakest link. You'll notice that that one guy, the one we're fighting right now, he's highly mobile, he was moving around, but his friend stood still, so he died first. GG, that's the second match. Our third match, we've actually just skipped ahead to we've skipped the beginning. It's taken us 90 seconds to locate the fire team. Once again, they are at their objective. Here, nice cramped area. They're distracted by AI humans. So all we're going to do is wait for this guy to walk inside the building. We're going to fire him in, follow him in, and ruin his day. Now what's important to note here is that it's only a 3-man fire team. But we're not invincible, right? Notice how the second player goes down. We're at about 80% health, and this guy just tears us apart.
Get over here and help me out.
He still went down in about 5 seconds, but notice how we lost about 50% of our health. We're not invincible, right? When we charge in, we need to do it as quickly as possible. And sometimes it's not going to work out. Sometimes we're going to get ripped apart ourselves. But usually it's enough that we can go ahead and do it. Going on to our fourth map here, once again the strategy is going to be the same. Sprint into the middle, look for a good vantage point, listen to them, and then go. So at this point, nice and simple, it's not a cramped area, it's the ruins. Most likely they're looking for drugs, or they're going to lay their own drug bricks. We see one guy mudding up. He's alone. We take him out. We move over to the left. The 3 others are charging, thinking that we're retreating, but we charge right in. Here's where the combi stick shines again. We're hitting both of them at the same time. And they're down again. This is the clip we saw at the very beginning of the video, but it just serves the point that even in the ruins, which is not as confined to space as those portable buildings or labs, you can still take out the entire team very quickly. Now this last video here is going to show another point. This is about 1.5 minutes in. I charged in, I killed one of the fire team members, but then the rest of them got the got the drop on me and put me into second wind. So at this point, it's very interesting because they know my playstyle. They know that I'm a berserker, I have a combi stick, and then I'm going to charge in and try and take them apart like that. I'm going to heal up here, and what they've done is gone to reinforce. They are 4 strong again, but instead of trying to deal with me, they've decided to take on the objective. They've jumped right back in to do their objective. They're dealing with AI humans, and if they want to ignore me and put themselves in danger, you can't turn up that kind of opportunity. So we're just going to grab up our energy, and we're going to dive right back in. They've put themselves in the worst possible spot, and we're going to exploit them. So there you have 5 matches where we've taken out the fire team with ease, all following the same basic idea of class identity for the Berserker. Taking a look at the loadout again between Predator, and we'll look at fire team in a moment. Everything focuses on punishing them and really utilizing the melee weapon, right? The Berserker already gets added damage to his melee attacks. Fearless gives us even more damage as a perk. Impenetrable helps keep us relatively safe. The bow we have here, at best, it's distraction. Makes them think that you're maybe a ranged predator, or that you've got terrible aim, or that you mean to attack them from afar. Gear as well can be very useful. We didn't use any in this video because we didn't need to, but it's definitely an option. The point here is that with classes, the Berserker is played in a very specific type of way. That's how it's going to excel. In order for other classes to be as successful, let's take a look here. Whether it's the hunter or the scout, you have to treat them as completely different individuals. Pretend they're different people entirely if you were to look at it that way. That's going to do it for our Berserker guide and Predator hunting grounds. We wish everyone the best of hunting against Fireteam. Be sure to play around with your own builds. The hunter and the scout can be equally as powerful with the right build. You just have to treat them in a completely different way than you would the Berserker class. Same thing with Fireteam members. Try out different methods. Run laps around the Predator as a sprinter, or buckle down as a firm support member. Either way, this is Patrick from TheGamer. Best of luck, everyone.